Hello friends, welcome to Crack Gate CSE, and in this series of database today we'll be discussing previous year gate questions on join algorithm. So in the previous video we have discussed join algorithm. So if you are looking for the explanation regarding the join algorithm like nested loop join or block nested loop join, you can refer the previous video of this playlist. Now I told you in the previous video that the question came in gate 2008, but actually that question came in gate 2005, not in 2008. And these questions might look lengthy in the first look, but these questions are very simple and you can easily score marks if this kind of question came in your exam. So first of all, try to do these questions by your own. I'm pretty sure that if you have went through the explanation that we did in the previous video, you will be easily able to solve these kind of questions. But yes, try to give it some time and try to read the questions. After reading the question, try to solve it by your own, and in case if you are getting any difficulty, you can always refer this video. So before moving on to the solution, please subscribe the channel if you are new, and if you are old, please like this video, because your likes and comments are like the motivation for me to create the more such videos. Now let's quickly move on to the explanation. So what does the question says? Question says that a database table T1 has 2000 records and occupies 80 blocks. So this is a table T1 which is having 2000 records and 80 blocks, which I named as B1, B2 and so on till B80. Another table T2 has 400 records. So this T2 table is having 400 records and occupies 20 blocks. So there are 20 blocks. These two tables has to be joined as per the specified join condition that needs to be evaluated for every pair of records from these two tables. So they are saying that they will be joined as per the condition. But here you do not need to bother about the condition, because whether the condition is satisfied or not satisfied, you have to check the all blocks, because you have to join every record with each other record, right? So you do not need to worry about the condition here, because you have to find out the access cost. So the memory buffer space available can hold exactly one block. So this particular part is also very important, that exactly one block of record T1 and one block of record T2 at any point of time. So no index is available on either table, there is no indexing. So they are asking that if nested loop join algorithm is used, if nested loop join algorithm is employed to perform the join with the most appropriate choice of table to be used in the outer loop. So this particular line is also very important. I will explain you in few seconds. And they are asking the number of block access required for reading the data. So what they are asking that how many blocks are needs to be accessed to perform these loop. Now with this line, that with the most appropriate choice of table to be used in the outer loop. So if you have to minimize the number of block access, keep one thing in your mind, that you have to use the table with the minimum records as the outer table, because if you use the table which is having minimum number of records, then the number of blocks will be very less. So I will be explaining you this particular solution by taking the smallest table as the outer one. But yes, if you want to try it by your own, try to take this bigger table, the table which is having 2000 records, try to take it as an outer, and you can verify whether it is giving you the more data blocks access or the less block access. So I am taking T2 as the outer table, because here we are having only 400 records and here we are having 2000 records. So I am considering this small table as the outer table. Now there was one condition, that exactly one block of record T1 and one block of record T2. So T2 is the outer one, so I am taking one block of T2. So this is T2. So this is block 1. Similarly, one block of T1 at any particular instance of time, right? So here we are having 400 records. So if you try to find out that how many records will be in one block, just divide this 400 by the number of blocks, which is 20. So block factor will be 20. That means there will be 20 records in one particular block, which will be varying from R1 up to R20. But here you need not to bother about the rest of the records. I will tell you the simple way that how you can find out the blocks access required. So here you can see that we are having one records R1. For this R1 record, we have to map the first record of block 1. Then similarly another records of block 1. Once the block 1 records are mapped with this R1, you have to remove this B1 and you have to insert another block, which is block 2. Similarly, if all the records of B2 are mapped with this R1, you have to move on to the B3, and so on. You have to move till all the 80 blocks has been mapped, right? So for one record you have to access all the 80 blocks. Similarly for the second record also, you will be starting from block 1. Again you have to take all these 80 blocks. So we can say that if we are having 400 records, right? So for these 400 records you have to access all these blocks 400 times. That means 400 into 80. Apart from this, here we are having 20 blocks. So to access these 400 records, you have to access these 20 blocks also. So this will be added, right? So 20 blocks of T2, then these blocks to be accessed 400 times, because overall there are 400 records in this T2. So just try to solve it and you will be getting it as equals to 32,020. So this is the answer for this first question. So C is the right answer. Try to flip these conditions. Try to take T1 as the outer table, and then you will be figuring out that what is the difference between the block access. Now there's a linked question which came in GATE 2005 as well. Try to do this by your own, right? Now I'm going with the solution so that you can refer it. Here also I'm having the same details, but there is only one difference that let me check it. Yes, if instead of nested loop join, block nested loop join is used, again with the most appropriate choice of table in the outer loop, the reduction in number of blocks access required for reading the data will be. So here they are not asking that how many blocks are accessed if we use the block nested loop join algorithm, but they are asking the difference between this nested loop approach and the block nested loop approach. So what is the difference of the blocks? This is what they are asking. So here also we are having the same condition that exactly one block of record T1 and one block of record T2 can be in the memory at one instance of time. So again I am taking one block of T2 because T2 is our outer table and T1 is our inner table. Again this is block 1, there is block 2. So here you will be having R1 up to R20, and here what will be the block factor? Just divide this 2000 by 80, right? And you will be getting the block factor. So here there is one condition in block nested loop join that I explained in the previous video, that every block, all the records of this block will be mapped with all the records of this block. So once all the mapping is done, R1 will be mapped with all the records. Similarly, R2 will be mapped with all the records of B2. Then R3 up to R20. So once all the records of block B1 is mapped with all the records of block B2, then we'll be removing it and inserting, this is block B1 of T2 and this is block B2 of T1, right? Do not get confused. First we will be taking block 1 of T1 and we will be mapping all the records of this T2 block with all the records of the T1 block. Once all the records are mapped, we will be moving on to the next block, and again we'll be mapping these 20 records with all the records in B2. Then we'll be moving and so on till B80. And here we map in a blockwise manner. That means if one block is mapped, you do not need to call again for this particular block. So what does it mean? That here for one block you have to access 80 blocks, but how many blocks we are having? 20 blocks. So this 20 blocks needs to be accessed anyhow, because we have to map all the block of the outer table with the inner table, right? Apart from these 20 blocks, you have to access all these 80 blocks for each block. You can see here is for block B1 I am accessing all the 80 blocks. Similarly for block B2 I will be accessing all these 80 blocks. So overall for all these 20 blocks I will be accessing all these 80 blocks. That means overall 20 into 80 blocks will be accessed. So what is the block access required for the block nested loop? Just solve it out. It will be 1600 plus 20, which is nothing but 1620. Now, but they are not asking what is the block access if you use the block nested loop join. They are asking the difference. So what is the difference? Here you have to subtract this 1620 from this. So if you subtract 1620 from this, you will be getting 30,400, which is nothing but the B option, right? So this is very simple. You can easily find it out. So if you find this particular video useful, please like this video and comment your feedback in the comment box. In case if you are having any suggestions, you are most welcome. Please give me your suggestion and the feedback, and I will definitely work on those suggestions. So thank you very much for your time. Please subscribe the channel if you have not subscribed, and also share it with your friends. Thank you very much for your time. Keep supporting, keep learning. Have a great day.